With autumn ahead of us and winter looming, we'll finally start cooling off after a scorching hot summer. In fact, for parts of East Texas, it was one of the hottest ever.
Another problem we had with the summer was it was unusually warm. It was the second hottest June through August on record for Tyler.
Not only was it hot, but we've been pretty dry too. In Tyler, it's only rained about 30 inches so far this year, which would be the 10th driest year on record. Looking ahead through the rest of the year, our chances for a wet weather pattern will be less than normal thanks to La Niña. Cooler waters in the tropical Pacific will aid in keeping the jet stream farther north, which means our source of fall and wintertime thunderstorms will be limited. This isn't great news for our drought situation.
It's quite likely to be warmer and probably drier than normal as well, so that means, unfortunately, continuation and even worsening of the drought.
That means for some of your favorite hobbies like golf, extra time and resources must be dedicated to ensure the greens play to perfection.
Hot and dry like it is, we'll have to go out and syringe them, which means basically you're bringing a hose to the sprinkler head and attaching it, and then just putting a heavy dose of water on some of the drier spots.
If we remain drier than normal, Chris and his team at Pine Dunes will have to adjust for extra water use, which will come at a cost.
If we're not getting the rain, then it does increase the budget. So it'll increase cost eventually.
Golf courses aren't the only playing field feeling the burn from this summer. White Oak High School has also been forced to use more water in order to keep the football field green.
You know, a lot has to do with Mother Nature, as you can tell over the past summer. It's really difficult when it's hot and we don't get much natural rain coming down. So we've got to, of course, use our irrigation system, and this year we've used probably about 3 times as much as from previous years, just because we had no rain all summer.
It's hard work keeping a field of grass healthy in East Texas, but just like White Oak, many of us enjoy and embrace the tradition of hard work that goes into taking care of it.
Not necessarily. I mean, we kind of like the tradition here at White Oak. You know, turf fields are always nice, but I believe the grass fields are just as nice too. You know, so it doesn't really matter to us, and so you know, it's pretty much a tradition right now for us, and. You know, it's a great looking field, and it's super playable, and you know, we really like it.
One of the sure signs of fall, besides changing leaves, would be early morning fog hovering over lakes and nestled in valleys, affecting your morning commute. Dense fog can be dangerous, reducing visibility to 1/4 mile or less.
Most of the time it is in our rural areas that we have most of our fog-related crashes, just because of the lack of lighting. Obviously in a city, you've got a little bit more lighting, it makes it a little bit easier to see, but anytime that you get out of those bright lights and into more of a rural type setting, we do typically see more fog-related crashes at those locations.
So what causes fog? Fog is really just a cloud that touches the ground. Today we're going to focus on radiation fog, the most common during fall in East Texas. So let's set the scenario. Fall days in East Texas consist of comfortably warm afternoons and cool, clear nights. 2 important ingredients for fog, but you need more than that. You've got to have moisture and calm winds. The perfect environment for fog comes from early sunsets when the nights become longer. There's more time for solar energy to exit out the atmosphere. In simpler terms, less sunlight means more time to cool down. Cooler air causes moisture to condense and stay suspended in our line of sight. And voila, you have radiation fog. Now, I want to show you an experiment that you can try at home. For this, you're going to need a glass jar, a cup of ice, a strainer or a lid with some holes, and a cup of very hot water. And also, optionally, you can use some hairspray, and we'll explain why in just a second. So for this experiment, we're going to take the glass jar and fill it up with hot water. Now you want the jar to heat up because this is going to act as the atmosphere during the day. We're going to put some ice cubes inside of our strainer here. After your glass has heated up, you want to dump out most of this water here. You can just pour it back into your glass. Now you can add a little spritz of hairspray to add our ice to the water and put the lid on top. As the atmosphere or air cools, water vapor suspended in the atmosphere condenses into water droplets, and that is how you can make your own fog.
They're delicate, daring, and delightful to watch, but they're also endangered.
When those three clocks are aligned is when patients typically do best and have their best sleep.